If you told my 17-year-old self what I'd be doing now, hmm, she'd probably be too scatterbrained to even listen. Cramming for some exam, sketching anime characters, or figuring out how Naruto would end. And now we have Boruto. Hi everyone, I'm Jemray Bocalvas, and I want to tell you this story. I didn't have it all figured out. I just knew I wanted to be creative. But life has this funny way of unfolding in directions you didn't plan, but absolutely needed. I love drawing, anime, fashion sketching, games, and I dreamed of doing something creative for the rest of my life. Back then, I was a starry eyed kid who thought life was simple: study hard, get a job, get rich. That was the plan. But as that kid grew, she learned nothing about life is ever that simple. In high school, while figuring out what course to take, I didn't know what my creative career would look like 15 years later. I just knew I wanted to pursue the arts. I took entrance exams everywhere: fine arts at UP, information design at Ateneo, and also took a creative entrance exam at iAcademy. Then, almost by chance, through deviant art and friendships I built there, I met a brilliant artist who was studying at Benilde. And that's how I discovered multimedia arts at De La Salle College of St. Benilde. It was like opening a door I didn't know existed. Inside, 2D, 3D, photography, video, graphic design, web, even coding. I felt overwhelmed in the best way possible. By second year, everything almost fell apart. We hit financial challenges at home, and for a while, it felt like my life was stuck in tar. That dream I was chasing, it felt like it was slipping away. But then, Benilde offered me a financial assistance scholarship. A gesture I will always be grateful for. And I'm always grateful for friends who have let me know about these opportunities as well. Closer to graduation, I realized I wasn't the best or most talented in my batch. But still, I thought I'd become a designer, maybe quietly behind the scenes. Then one of my professors said, "You know, you might actually be stronger in coding than design." At first, I didn't know how to feel about that, but it opened my mind. Maybe there were other opportunities I can try out. I love painting and drawing, but maybe my starting point was closer to logic, to structure, to the world of web. So I applied to everything: design jobs, dev jobs, multimedia roles. And 2 months before graduation, I got hired as a web developer. From there, I followed my curiosity. I didn't always know where I was going, but it felt like there was something that was pushing me and asked me to keep walking. I explored marketing, agency life, freelancing. I worked with clients in B2B, education, law, e-commerce, retail. Sometimes I was designing, sometimes I was managing, sometimes I was just figuring it out as I went. One of my most surprising freelance moments, I contributed to a campaign pitch for Krispy Kreme Philippines. It was all about emotional storytelling and human connection. Not just donuts, but delight. And it taught me something I still hold on to. We don't have to know everything. We just have to research, show up, and try. Today, I work as a creative project manager and consultant. I help brands turn ideas into experiences. I help creatives, especially those still figuring things out, align their work with strategy and purpose. I'm not always the one designing now, but I'm always in awe of the people I work with. The ones who bring pitch decks to life, who turns rough briefs into something magical, who shows up, stay curious, and keep learning. Just like I try to do every day. If you told my 17-year-old self what I'd be doing now, she'd probably blink once, maybe twice, stylus in hand, halfway through coloring a cloak or tweaking line art on a Naruto commission. Maybe she'd pause the My Chemical Romance playlist long enough to ask, wait, I'm managing creative projects? Running teams? Giving tasks? What's all that? She'd laugh, not out of disbelief, but because she wouldn't think she'd ever trade her quiet, emotional world of fan art and community journals for meetings, scopes, and strategic plans. But if you looked her in the eye and said, you didn't lose anything, you just evolved. You grew. That same spark, it still drives everything. Maybe she'd believe you. She might ask, do we still draw? And you'd say, sometimes, not always with pens and pixels, but we still make things that matter. We create space for growth, for stories, for healing. And she smiled because she'd realized she wasn't becoming someone else. She was becoming more of herself. So if you're listening to this and you're still figuring it out, if you're changing life paths, if you feel like you're late or behind, let me say this. You don't need to have it all figured out. Growth doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from showing up, staying curious, and trusting that every step adds up. I'm Jemarie Bucalvos, and this is just a piece of my story. Let's connect if you're in the creative space, freelancing, mentoring, or even just starting out. I'm always happy to share, listen, and learn from others.